Hi everyone, welcome to this video Alteryx hands-on questions. In this video we will see dynamic removal and replacement of columns with nulls based on condition. Below are the topics which we are going to cover. We will be covering the in and out tool, preparation tool. From the developer tool we will be covering dynamic rename, dynamic select and dynamic replace, join tool and transform tool. Moving on to the task for today, we'll have to check if more than 10% of the values in a column is null, then we will delete that column. And if it's between 0 to 10, then we will replace the null values with text called as no value. The dataset which we will be using is NFL play-by-play 2019 to 16 data. This is from Kaggle and I'll give the link in the description box for it. Moving to our Alteryx designer, the first thing which we will be doing is selecting our input using the input tool. Next I have done is I have used the select to change the data type of few of the columns which are integers but they are marked as strings. There are 102 columns. I haven't done for all, but ideally we should do it for all the integers. The next task, if you see, our first task was to calculate the percentage, that is if the null values is 10%. For that we will calculate the nulls, then we will calculate the total count, and we'll divide both of them to get our percentage. For that purpose I have used a transform. After the transform I have used a summarize. This first summarizes the name, that is groups by the name, and the value which we'll have is the count null. I have used one more transpose and summarize. This time instead of count null I have used the count. So the output would be like this. For the count, it is for all the columns is going to give us the total number of records in it. For the count nulls, it will give us the null values in it. Next thing is to join both of them together. Here I have joined by record position. This is the output which we'll get. For all the columns, we'll get the count null and the total count for it. For calculation, we'll use the formula tool to calculate the percentage. So I'm creating a new column percentage of null, where I'm dividing the count null value divided by the total count into 100. Next, I'm creating a new column for the column names. If the percentage of null is greater than 10, then delete underscore plus the original name. Else if percentage is greater than 0 and less than 10, then change underscore plus the original name. Else keep the same name. I've used a sort to just see how our output looks like. So this is our new column which is being created. If you see, the percentage of null for the column down is greater than 10, therefore it's renamed as delete underscore down. For post time, change time and time in seconds, it is changed to change, and rest others remain the same. Now this change we want to change in our input data. So first let's check the concept how to remove column. We will be using the dynamic rename here. It takes in two inputs. The first input in L is the input data which we have. Okay, and in the second input R, we are giving it the values or the column names which we are going to replace. That's the short part which I showed you. We'll configure this. The rename mode will take field names from the right input rows, which is this one. Then the old field name from the column, which is our input data, original input data, will have the name, and new field name from the column will use the new column name. So these two are going to get changed. I'll run it and show you the output. So if you see our original column, it has down, it has time, times, seconds and post time. But in this one, it will get changed. So you see now the columns got renamed using the dynamic rename. Our next task would be to delete that column which has delete underscore. So you see 102 columns are there. To delete that, we'll use the dynamic select. Here we'll use an expression where we will check if the name has delete underscore, then we will not select that. Okay. So if left of name comma 7 is not equal to delete. So if it is not equal to delete, then only we are selecting it. Otherwise, we are not selecting it. So our output has 101 columns and that delete column is being deleted. Moving on to task number 2, which is to replace the nulls. So we were here with the sort. After the sort, I'm just filtering out the columns where the name is change underscore. For that, I'm using a filter tool. So basic filter on the new column which contains change. It will give me 3 new columns which has change in it. Now to rename it, we are going to use the dynamic replace. This takes in 3 parameters: the new field name, okay, the Boolean expression and the output value field. For the field name, right, we have the field name here, these 3 field names which we are getting from the filter. But there are extra columns also, right? So I'll use a select to select only the new column name. This will give us the 3 columns with change. Then for the other one, I'm using an input, text input to define the condition, which is the Boolean condition, and the output, which is the result. So the condition I'm checking, if is null of the current field, then result should be current field and concatenate it with no value string. If not is null of current field, then keep the current field. And then I'm using an append to combine both the data. So we'll have the new column, the condition and the result. So in new column, we have 3 unique columns. And since the conditions are 2, one is for null and one is for is null, we'll have 2 each for the condition and 2 results as well. To configure this, for the field name, we will configure our new column, which is going to have the change underscores. For the Boolean expression, we'll check the condition. If it is null, then the result will be the current field plus the string no value. And it's important to check this because values and expression contains formulas. If we do not do it, if you see our result here, it will take this as a string. The value will be taken as a string if we do not mention that. It won't be calculated as a formula. So instead of displaying the value of the current field, it will display the string current field. Okay. So after this is configured, this is how a final output would look. Just to validate, for post stream at line number 38, it was no values. Okay. It's a typo here. So let's check that. Okay, so line number 37, 38, whatever is it. We have one header, so it will be 37. So that value is replaced with no value. Similarly, for the other one, which is change time, at 2718, we have blank, which is replaced by no value. Let me show that in the Excel. Hmm, 2719. And here we get 2718 because one is a header in Excel. I hope you found the video useful. If so, please subscribe to the channel for more such contents. And thank you so much for watching.